Hey everyone, welcome to the May vlog. It's been a couple of weeks since I got back from off holiday, entering into the third week of being back into the shop, and it's been interesting. The first week back I was super busy. It was just before Mother's Day, and then last week I can tell you it was a complete and utter wipeout. For the entire week I didn't even earn what I'd earned on one day the previous week. It was just an absolutely horrible week. The weather's been foul. It's just nobody was out there, and again this week it's very dull, overcast, raining. So hopefully we'll have a better week this week. We'll see how things go. Even the online sales were pretty slow last week, but I did have quite a few orders come in over the weekend, so I've got all of those picked and over on the bench. One of them does have some tea lights in, so we've got the wax tank on, so we'll make those tea lights this morning. It's cool enough that they should actually be set by just after lunch, so I can pack and get that order sent off. I have just taken a builder soap off of the cure rack for Katie. There is a full video coming on this one very soon, so we're going to get that one packed with Katie's other few orders that came through as well while she's been waiting for this one to actually cure. I do also have another soap on the cure rack which is coming off, which is another builder soap, but there's no video for that one because they didn't want one. So we'll get all of those done. That will then mean my cure rack is pretty much empty apart from the soaps I made with Lee. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a tidy up, reorganize. Well, can't really reorganize it, but I will start then going from the top down, and we've got some soaps over here which I need to tidy up and get onto the cure rack. I made those late last week. I also have a few other things to do this week. I've got some fragrance oils while my oil tank's on, or the wax tank's on. I actually might make some candles with them. There were fragrance oils I used in my monthly melt edit for Easter, and because they're all quite sweet, they've got very high vanillin in them, and I don't want to make soaps with them because I do not want 5 brown soaps, because that's essentially what I'll end up with. So I decided I would actually turn these fragrance oils into limited edition candles. So while the tank's on, I may as well actually make those. I did bring in the candle jars with me this morning to do them as well. And then I have my big long list of things to do in my journal here I've got my bullet journal from Wickedly Goods, and I've got my list of things that need to be done. Oh, I forgot I need to do that. That's my piece of paper. Last week I had somebody come into the shop, and thank goodness they did, because I can tell you what he spent in his one order was more than what I'd earned for the entire week until he came in. So I'm so grateful he came in, and he cleared me of my scrubby soaps from off of the shelf, and he said it was one of the best scrubby soaps they'd ever had. He was with his partner, and she said it was one of the best scrubby soaps she had ever had, and she absolutely loved it. So they cleared me out, so I need to actually make some more of those, but because it doesn't use my regular oil recipe, it's a little bit different. I do have to make that one up, so that is something else to do. There are a fair few people out in the street today. I've got someone watching me like a goldfish, and they are about to come in. All right, so the first order I have got here to pack is for Suzanne from off Wombat Lagoon, and she really wanted to see her order packed on the vlog. She has been a long time supporter of mine through YouTube, Patreon, supports me wherever I sort of am, so thank you so much for that. Let's take a look at what Suzanne has ordered. She's grabbed one of the Spellbound soap bars. This is one of the more recent soap videos I've put out. A few people are asking about the color. I know it's really hard to see. It has darkened up a little bit, but it is still a nice dark blue with the gold sort of swirls going through it. So I'll pop that one in there. She's also grabbed 3 of our shrink wrap openers. These are the new design ones as well. Previously these were my little shrink wrap openers, and lots of people were saying to me they'd put it down and they'd lose it. So I actually asked Lee, who prints these for me, if she could put a little hole in them so I could put keychains on them, which will hopefully mean you can either hang them up or put them onto something bigger so that you don't actually lose them. I absolutely love these for opening up the shrink wrap on soaps, melts, bath bombs, so you don't get all the bits stuck under your fingernails. She has ordered I'm pretty sure this one's the Aqua. I'm pretty sure it is. In fact, I do know. This is the Aqua one. She's ordered a coral and a teal. You can see why I'm a little bit which one's which, but I'm pretty sure this one is Aqua and that one is teal. But she's ordered both, so it doesn't matter if I've got it wrong because she's got them both. Anyhow, I'm going to pop them into an organza bag just so that the little keychains don't get stuck on things. So we've got those 3. She has also ordered our hand cream in the Lavender Dreams, so let's pop that in there. We have got some solid lotion bars. She's grabbed Elegance, which is super popular, and the Calm. This one's fragrance and this one is essential oil. And she's also grabbed a tub of our newly released tallow balm. So this is back for winter. The honey vanilla is the same as what I did last year, and then you will see in another order I do also have an essential oil version out this year as well. But she's grabbed a tub of our tallow. All right, we need some paper in here just to make sure everything stays nice and safe. Let's pack it with some paper, make sure some is at the top of that soap so the book doesn't get damaged. Pop some more in here. All right, so now we've got plenty of paper in here. I have my usual little sampler to go in. We've got our little ray of sunshine. And while I was away on holiday, I was giving away solid perfume samples with all the orders. I say samples, but it's actually a full-size lip balm tube. I was giving these away with orders. I still had, this week I had 3 of them, and I'm just giving them out to the first 3 orders that came over the weekend. So Suzanne's gonna get one of these in Elegance, and that is the same scent that one of her solid lotions are in. Not sure if Suzanne's had one of the magnets. If she has, she can give it to somebody else if she'd like. I'm going to pop in the little thank you card, and then let's get this one all closed and sealed up with our label. As I've done in the past, I'm just going to then pop the box back into the basket, and once I've got all of the orders wrapped up, I will then, or packaged up, I will then wrap them up in our paper and orange ribbon. So there is Suzanne's in there. All right, next up we've got an order for Jo, who is a Pamper Club member. So let's grab her basket over here. I'm sure, yes, she is a Pamper Club member. Let's have a look. I've got my slightly taller box here. She's ordered a bergamot and white patchouli soap. These are all soap bars that she's grabbed. We've got the white musk, and these are all fairly newly released ones. She's also grabbed a Spellbound. We also have one of my favorites, persimmon and white lily. This one I have been wanting to make for years, couldn't work out how to do the embeds, finally did, and got this one into a beautiful soap, and it smells really nice as well. And she's also ordered Cherry Blossom. This one has been super popular since I released it, and I've pretty much almost sold out of it in a couple of days. I used to make Japanese cherry blossom quite a bit, and then it just slowly wasn't selling anymore, so I stopped making it. And I got some fragrance in the other day. I thought, you know what, I will just make it, and suddenly it's just flown off the shelf. So I think I actually will make, if I've got time, another bar of it this week. Of course, we're going to pop in our little ray of sunshine in there. We've also got a little sampler, and we're going to include one of those solid lotion or solid perfume sticks in here. I do feel there's not quite enough paper on this side, and things might wobble around a little bit, so let's just top that up in there. We'll get our little thank you note, and I don't know if Jo again has had one of the little magnets, so let's just pop it in, and we'll get this one all sealed up. All right, we'll get this one all sealed up. And packing this cherry blossom soap has actually just also reminded me, I've had a message from somebody who I actually know personally asking if I have any more of that cherry blossom soap, because it has sold out online. I need to go and check what's available on the shop shelf and let them know, because they want some. So there is Jo's done. I'm going to go and check that soap while I remember, and then we'll come back and we'll pack another one in a moment. All right, I've just sent her a message. I actually had a lot more on the shop shelf than I thought. Generally, when I make a loaf of soap, I end up with 18 bars, and then I usually put 9 on the website, 9 on the shop shelf. But I've had a couple of soap bars lately where I've actually put them online, and they have been selling out so quickly, I've had to take them, like some of them, back off the shop shelf and back online. And I thought the Japanese cherry blossom was one of them that I'd done that with, but apparently not. So I actually do have quite a few, and I've asked her how many she would actually like. So hopefully I'll hear from her soon, and I can, you know, sort out what goes online and what goes back onto the shelf. But in the meantime, I'm going to pack an order for Rebecca. Rebecca loves my lip balms. She's always ordering them, and there's no lip balms in this order, which is very, very unusual. But she did order some shampoo bars from me on her last order and said she absolutely loved it, and she's trying some of the others. She got the Sweet Darkness shampoo last time, and this time she has grabbed, oh, that's the back, but that's the front, the conditioner bar. So we've got those, and then she's also grabbed 2 other shampoo bars. We've got our Ocean Deep, and we've also got our Citrus Burst. This is the one that I generally use these days. I used to always use the Sweet Darkness, the purple one, for oily hair, but these days my hair's not as oily, so I go for that Citrus Burst. She has also grabbed one of the White Musk soaps. This is a really big box, but I don't have anything in between. And she's also grabbed 2 of another one of these soaps that have been super popular since I launched it, and I had no idea it was going to be so popular, and that is Banana Smoothie. So many people love this banana soap. I had no idea when I made it it was going to be so popular. People are ordering like 2, 3 and 4 of these bars of soap, and this is one of those where I've almost had to take all of the stock off of the shop shelf so we can do online orders. Just trying to get this into the box the best way possible. All right, let's get some paper in here. Oop, we just had someone come into the shop and grab some shaving soap. So that's a good thing. Let's pop all this paper in here. All right, now with Rebecca's order, I do have a couple of samplers in there. No, I changed my mind. That's why I'm actually also going to include just a little sampler of the invigorating shampoo bar for her as well. And we've got a little ray of sunshine. Now there's no solid lotion. I keep calling it solid lotion, solid perfume in this one, because as I said, I only had 3 left. And even though I've only put them into 2, the other order that's got the tea lights, that was actually one of the first orders I received. So that one is getting that 3rd perfume. All right, so let's get Rebecca's all sealed up. I have just heard back from the person wanting the cherry blossom soap. She's wanting 7 of them. So I'll probably move the rest of what's left onto the website so we can restock those. So in the meantime, I'm going to start packing Katie's order. I've been having a bit of a play to see what sort of box I can get it in without sending a gigantic box. So let's see if I can remember how I did this off camera. So I was doing it off camera while I was going backwards and forwards with the messenger. So we've got her builder soap in here. That's the 9 bars of soap. Pop them in there. So that's that back order done. Now the next order that came through, we had some heat packs. So we've got a Highland Cow and Cats and Dog mini heat pack. So we'll pop those in there. It always changes once you put your tissue paper in. It does take up quite a considerable amount of space. So, and I was doing my sort of packing before putting the tissue paper in. So we've got those. Now I'm actually going to jump over to this order where she has ordered 2 of the newly released or re-released honey vanilla tallow balms. So let's pop those like so. Then off this other order, I've thrown my pen on the floor and it's gone under the bench. Let's cross that off. Come back here. We've got a ladies shaving soap. Absolutely love this stuff. She's also got herself one of the eco-friendly shaving brushes in there. It's all wrapped up, so let's pop that in there. And she's also ordered the Sun-Kissed body oil. Now this was released as a limited edition. I've had such positive feedback. I have ordered some new bottles and I will bring some more of it out. Now, how did I do this? I don't think that was how I had it packed. We're gonna go that way. I think that's it. It just had to go on a little angle and then it all goes in nicely. Now, one of these orders actually did come through while we were away on holiday, and I have got her little holiday freebies. I was giving away these little soap bags for people who had a number of soaps ordered. So I'm going to pop that one in there so she can use it. And because she loves purple, I saved the purple soap bag. I didn't hog it for myself. So I've popped that one in, and then she had another order come in which got the little perfume here. So we might pop you down in that little gap there. We're going to fill the rest of it up with some tissue paper or some shredded paper. I won't need a lot, and I also need to save myself a bit of room. I saved her a little purple Little Ray of Sunshine there. Let's just get those in there. And then we're going to get this one all sealed up as well. Now, before I actually do get on with wrapping these in the paper, I am going to go and make the melts, which I needed for this other order I've got sitting there. It is almost lunchtime, so I need to get them made. I'm pretty sure the wax is all melted. I'm going to get those tea lights made, and then hopefully they will be set up enough that by 3 o'clock I can pack that order as well. Productive afternoon I've had. It actually took me a long time to pack all those orders. I forget how much longer it takes to pack orders when I'm doing it on camera. So it took me a while to get all the orders packed, but once I got them done, I've been able to get them wrapped in their satchels over there. I had the tea lights poured. I have also just made some candles using those excess monthly melt edits. I have actually run out of jars. In my head, I was going to be able to make 4 candles. I should have really thought about it and realized I would be able to get 5 or 6 out of what was left over. So I was able to get 5 out of cotton candy, and I've got 6 out of what was cream eggs, but I'm going to be calling it lemon buttercream or lemon ganache. I haven't quite decided yet, but I've got 6 of those. So they're setting up. So it means I've only got 1 jar left out of the box I bought in. But I do still have cinnamon buns to make up. And again, I'm going to be able to get 5 or 6 out of those bottles. So I'll just bring some more jars in tomorrow and make those ones up. I made a mistake when I was pouring these tea lights for Chris. Chris had actually placed an order the previous weekend to this one and had ordered sandalwood and clove tea lights. So I've gone to go and make the tea lights. I've made sandalwood and clove, and I was halfway through pouring them and I'm thinking, I'm sure these should be dragon's blood. So I went and had a look at the order, and sure enough, they were meant to be dragon's blood. But that's okay, because the sandalwood and clove scent is actually very popular when it comes to tea lights. So it just means I have some of those made up for the next time one of those orders come in, and just means I can get the order out nice and quickly. But I did re-pour or made some more in dragon's blood for Chris. They are now all set, boxed up. Let's see what else is going into Chris's order. All right, so let's start by popping those dragon blood tea lights in here, crossing them off. Now Chris has also ordered the tallow balm in the new scent for this year, which is orange patchouli. So it's got orange patchouli and Peru balsam essential oils in. The cocoa butter in here also blends with it and just gives it a really nice smell. So we'll pop that one in there. Chris has also grabbed one of the foot creams and also the Salt Glow It's Still soap. So these are the ones that were not quite as I would like my soaps to look. So we've got that one in there. Now this was the other order that I said, in fact, first of all, we'll put some paper in here because I like to put the freebies generally on top, so it really kind of distinguishes between what people have ordered and what are freebies within orders. Let's fill that in like that. Could probably do with just a little bit more. All right, that is better. That stops things from moving. So this is the other order that is getting that final solid perfume. Now I have actually got some perfume containers arriving, hopefully, if not this week, because it's actually coming over from WA, it will be here early next week, and the solid perfumes will be hitting the shelves in June. I've had to think really long and hard about the packaging. I've also got a little ray of sunshine to go in here, and then we've got a little sampler of cream cleanser. Now this time I'm going to remember to put the thank you card in. After I sealed up Katie's order, I realised I forgot to put in the little thank you card, so I had to open it up and pop that back in. I do know that Chris has had the little magnet, so I don't need to put that one in here. I'm all right when people ordered not that long ago. I can remember what I've put in, but when it's been a while, I forget what people have been sent. I actually need to create some new magnets as well, but let's get that one all sealed up. I have to remember to bring in my other roll of paper with me tomorrow, because this one is getting dangerously low. So we're going to get Chris's order wrapped up, and then it is 1:45, so it's not quite time for me to go and print up all of the shipping labels yet. I generally do that at about 3 o'clock, so I only have one transaction going through. So what I'm going to do is get Chris's order all done up, popped over on the side where everything else is, and then I have all of those soaps which I showed this morning, which I am going to go and get tidied up and popped onto the cure rack. I was going to put it in the little box so I could put it in the extra small satchel, but then I can't get the little ray of sunshine in there. So we will just go with the big one here. Let's start getting them in. So let's pop those back in. Going to grab our paper shred. I think I actually need to order a couple more boxes. I usually have a box at home and a box in the shop, and I actually don't have any at home, and I don't want to run out, so I'll have to think about ordering those. Also need to order some new ribbon as well. No more secret ribbons hiding behind. If you watched my last vlog, I found a roll of ribbon. Anyway, we've got our little ray of sunshine. I've picked a nice happy pink one out there, and we're also going to pop in a little sampler. We've got some facial gel serum, a thank you note in there, and then let's get this one all sealed up. I have been pottering around I had a whole heap of washing up on the drying rack out the back, so I've been and put all that away. All the soaps have been done and put onto the cure rack. I put all my washing up away, which I'd done last week, so all of that's done. The back is now all cleared and ready for this week's mess. I know I haven't made much today. It always seems to be the way on a Tuesday when I come back in. It's just because I get all those orders come in from, you know, Saturday afternoon through to Tuesday morning, so it always takes a bit longer to get myself organised. So what I'm going to do is finish wrapping up this one, and then I'm going to sit down and evaluate what I'm actually going to do tomorrow. I do have to set those oils up. I don't think I'm going to have a chance to do it this afternoon. I'll see how I go, but I'm just trying to find my page. I have to make, this week, I have to make the monthly melt or the monthly melt edit for next month, which is all about the lolly shop. So it is going to be a little bit of a sweet collection, but there's also going to be some classic smells in there that I know people love, like musk sticks and things like that. So I do need to make the monthly melts this week so that they're all ready to go out, can get photos and all the rest of it. I also need to make some watermelon face cream. The night cream's running pretty low. I've only got 2 jars of that on the counter, so I've got to make some of that this week. The face masks, I was meant to make them last week but ran out of time, so I'll have to make some of those. I have to make lip balms. I'm actually very, very low on quite a number of them. I've been putting them off because of all the oopsies ones I did a few weeks back, and it's like I want to sell some of these oopsie ones before I refill, but I really do desperately need to refill the good ones as well. So we've got those. I need to make my scrubby soap. I've done the limited edition candles, but I do need to make some more. So I have done at least one thing on my list today. I'm going to finish getting this one wrapped up, and then I might go and see if I can set the oil or make up the oils for making the scrubby soap tomorrow. I actually need to come into the shop early tomorrow. It's a bit of a pain in the bum. I've got my prescription that I need to go and get filled. Problem is, it's really, really annoying. I'm hoping there's going to be a few changes. Apparently, I found out yesterday, watching of all the things that I don't usually watch, hubby watches, and I was just, you know, catching up on my book when this was said, and they said he was watching, I can't think what it's called. It's a quiz show with 5 comedians on it, and it's about like the stories that, have you been paying attention? That's the show we were watching, and they're like asking questions about things that have happened during the week. And one of the first questions was about the renaming of PCOS, or polycystic ovarian syndrome, which I was like, whoa, you know, please tell me more about this. And I had to do a little bit of research because I hadn't heard it. And apparently, yeah, on Tuesday last week, it got renamed. Get this, polyendocrine metabolic ovarian syndrome. Like, who decided to name it into something even more complicated to say? But apparently they've renamed it because it is very misnamed. I actually do feel that it is very misnamed, and that some people are diagnosed with PCOS who actually shouldn't be diagnosed with PCOS because it's medically induced, and they can cure it when it's medically induced, whereas when it's genetically a part of you can't just wake up one morning after taking some magical potions, etc., and have it cured or gone. And that because there is a lot of women who get diagnosed with PCOS because they've been on the contraceptive pill and their body's just not kicked in doing what it should do, those people who are born with it genetically, I feel, do not get the medical help or recognition that really is needed for the syndrome. It's very, very complicated, and they have decided to rename it to take away the focus of cysts on ovaries, because that is not what it's about. In fact, not all women will have cysts on the ovaries if they've got polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is why one of the reasons I was misdiagnosed for so many years. And it is more about the endocrine, whatever that is, that system, and the metabolic system. And they've apparently renamed it to shift the focus into the areas that this chronic illness actually does affect. There's so much that goes into it, and also trying to put focus onto the mental issues that go with it as well. So I found out they actually got renamed it. I've sidetracked here. But I am hoping that now that they've renamed it, they'll also actually start focusing on medication for people with this new PMOS. I did say, why did they have to, if they want to move away from the whole ovarian fertility side of things and look at the rest of it, why did they keep ovarian in it? And I thought, I suppose we can't all say we got PMS, can we? Anyhow, I am hoping that they do start looking at the medication a bit better for it, because there is not any medication that I'm aware of which is actually looked at by the TGA here in Australia, that the TGA go, this medication is for people with PCOS or now PMOS. So a lot of the medications that we do get put onto they're typically for people with diabetes, because a lot of this PMOS is, a lot of people do have insulin resistance. It's all to do with the metabolic system and things like that. And quite often diabetic drugs actually help people with the syndrome. But the TGA does not recognise any of this medication as being something that can help alleviate some of the symptoms that people like myself experience. What this has meant for me over the years, I will get back to why I'm coming in early. What this has meant for me over the years, one of the medications that I first got onto when I was first diagnosed in the UK, when I got back to Australia, I got yo-yoed on and off it so much by GPs who had their own personal thought about whether or not I should be on this medication, because it was developed for people with diabetes, which I did have in my early 20s, because I'd gone so long undiagnosed as having this insulin resistance. In my early 20s, I actually did develop type 2 diabetes, but luckily it got caught early enough that through medication, diet, lifestyle changes, I was able to bring my numbers back down so that I didn't have it, but I fought most of my life to keep that type 2 diabetes away. But the GPs had these thoughts about whether or not I should go on this medication. Some gave me a script, some wouldn't, and as doctors moved and changed, I got yo-yoed on and off this medication so much that it got to the point that when I did find GPs that would put me on it, my body just went, no, I'm not using that. If you're not going to stay on it, I'm not using it. So this medication actually doesn't do anything for me. It was a nice, cheap, easy medication to get to. And I actually went years without medication because I could not get a GP who was stable enough, to stay in the area, who would give me something. This is what I got a few years ago, if you depending how long you've watched my vlogs for, and I said I'd been to see an endocrinologist who got me onto some medication that was going to help, and it has. The problem is, once again, the medication is for people with type 2 diabetes, and basically the TGA does not recognise it as medication for people with PCOS or PMOS. Even though other countries do, other countries recognise that this medication is to be used. So even though my doctor can give it to me as, I forget what they call it, it's got a special name, you know, when they provide a medication, it's not off script, but it's, you know, it's known to help an illness, but it's not what it's for. So I get provided this script, but the catch is, it is a private script. If you're here in Australia, you may know the difference between a PBS and a private script. PBS scripts are generally covered by the government, like a good proportion of it is covered by the government, and then you just pay usually about $40, I think, for a script. I don't get this on PBS. I have it as a private script, so I have to pay full price for this medication. I'm paying a few $1,000s a year for my medication. And the biggest problem is, because it is a private script, it's very, very hard to find a chemist that will fill it for me. So as soon as I find a chemist that will fill this script for me, I stick with them. It doesn't matter how much they charge me. It is so much better than going into chemist after chemist after chemist being told, no, you can't have medication that is basically improving your life. So the problem why I'm having to come in early tomorrow is I need to go and get my script filled. There is only one chemist I have found in the area that will fill it for me, and they are only open Monday to Friday, 8 till 5, I think it is. So I need to come in early tomorrow so I can go up there and go and get my script filled so I can take my medication tomorrow. Oh, there's a long-winded 12-minute story for you. But I will come in early tomorrow. I'll see if we can make this other soap tomorrow and stuff like that. But for now, I am going to go and do up all of the shipping labels for these parcels, and then it will probably be almost time for me to go home. Oh, I think it's going to be one of these days today. It's only just gone 8:30 and already I'm over the day. I really, really am. It's not been terribly bad. It's just been one thing after another. I did come in early, as I said, to go and get my script filled. Got into the shop after doing a few other things. Walked over to the chemist, and while I was standing in line, I've looked at the script and realised it's the wrong script. So somehow my scripts have got messed up in the drawer. Usually I've got a couple of others in there which very rarely need filling, so they're at the bottom. And then I have my usual script sitting on the top, so I grabbed the one off the top without thinking, and it was the wrong script. So I'm going to have to come back in early tomorrow to go and get it filled, which I should have done it yesterday. I really should have done it because I'm meant to take it today. And I have actually tried giving myself half doses of this script because of how expensive it is, and I can tell you it doesn't work. It really, really, really did affect me when I went down to half a dose. And I actually had to do it because my script had run out and I went to see the doctor and she was on holiday, and I actually couldn't get to see her until 2 weeks after the script ran out. So rather than missing 2 weeks, I gave myself half doses over 4 weeks so that I had enough for the entire time, thinking it was better to be taking something than nothing, with all the problems I've had with the other script where yo-yoing on and off, and my body just went, nah, I'm so afraid that my body, if I don't take it regularly, will go, nah, I'm not taking it. So I am actually meant to take it this morning. I'll have to just take it tomorrow morning instead, and just probably, because the other scripts, in fact, the one script I did bring in is obsolete, so I've ripped that one up and popped it into the bin. But I will have to double check all the others that are in the drawer as well and make sure that the right one is there. I also spent about 20 minutes at my local post office this morning. They allow, because they know who some of us are, they say that if you really need them first thing in the morning before 9 o'clock when they open, you can go and knock on the back door and they'll open up. So I went and stopped by this morning because I am really, really worried about two of the parcels that I packed yesterday. And wouldn't you know it, they're both the builder soaps that I am worried about. And I have just, when I dropped them off yesterday, I was worried about them, and he said he would look into it today. And then the more I thought about it, I said, I went in this morning, I said, look, I'm just going to take them back and redo them. Basically, I think the satchels aren't correct. So this parcel should actually be okay. This actually fits into a medium satchel, and that is what I have paid for as my shipping. This box, however, does not usually fit into a medium satchel. It usually goes as a large, but this is in what was an old medium satchel, so I've paid medium shipping. A couple of years ago, Australia Post changed their prepaid satchels, so that instead of being governed by a size and a weight, they are now all different sizes. So you get small, medium, large, extra large, and you can fit up to 5 kilos in any of those satchels, where it used to be a small, you could get up to 1 kilo, and then the medium was 3 kilos, and then so forth and so forth. And then they changed it, and they said for a while that until all the new satchels started flowing through to the post offices, that we could use the old satchels. So if you had an old medium, you could put up to 5 kilos into it, lodge it as a medium. Well, I went into the post office the other day because I only had about 15 of my regular medium satchels left, and said I needed some. The lovely lady that runs it, she said, I haven't got any, I'll order them in. Got a phone call the next day to say they were in, and I went and picked them up, and they were the old medium satchels, which I thought must still be able to use them if they're still floating around. Got them back to the shop and realised that they are actually considerably bigger than the new mediums. And I thought, oh well, you must still actually be able to use them if they've given them to me. So that's what I've used to pop these in. And I'm sitting there thinking, I've just got this feeling I am going to get done in for on shipping if I actually send these parcels out in these old satchels, because I know that this box usually always sends as a large, not a medium. So I'm a bit ticked off that they did change the size that much from that medium satchel. But I went in and I said, look, am I going to get pulled up on this? And they said, oh no, your customer will have to pay the difference. It's like, no, that's not how business works. I pay the shipping. I don't want my customers getting you need to pay extra at the other end. And I know that's not how it actually works with Business Post. It actually comes back to the business owner, but it doesn't just come back as the difference in postage. It also comes back with an administration fee for someone having to go and take that parcel off the line and double check whether it was right or wrong. And when he scanned the barcode on the side of the satchel, it comes up as large, even though the satchel says medium. So then I went and grabbed the receipt for the parcel, for the satchels that I got, and the satchels actually, or the receipt says they are large satchels, not mediums. And I've said to him, look, I've only paid medium postage, but these are in large satchels. I am going to get, you know, fines for these, potentially up to $10 per parcel. And it's cheaper for me to send just one of those parcels than to pay that fine. So I was also speaking to his wife. His wife, they're a lovely couple that run the post office, but English is not their first language. The wife, Heather, she does have more knowledge of the English language. Husband's brilliant. There's still enough that you can communicate, but sometimes it does get a little bit harder. So when he gets a little bit too confused, he generally calls his wife, and I have to speak to her on the phone. But I did speak to her this morning while I was in there and said, look, I do honestly think that these medium satchels that I've been given are actually now large. And I said, I think I will end up getting administration charges if I keep using them. So she said that to bring them all back this afternoon, and she actually did give, or she told her husband to give me some new of the correct size mediums. So this first one, that's just a matter, I'll just unwrap it, pop it in the new one, same shipping label. But unfortunately, Katie, there's going to be confusion on your order because I do have to completely cancel your shipping label and then run it through correctly, because it's just wrong. It's actually just wrong on there. So I mean, there's nothing too drastic what's happened, but it's just, it's one of those things when lots of little pesky things happen and it just builds up to like, I don't want to deal with this anymore sort of thing. I think it's going to be one of those sort of days, but at least the sky is bright blue. There's no clouds. A bit windy, but there's no clouds, possibly because it is so windy, and the sun is shining. So hopefully it's going to be a really nice day. I did get an order come through last night. I've got to go and print that one up. We'll get that one picked and then packed, and that one can go to the post office with these ones. Sorry guys, I've just realised how hard it is to get into these parcels. Actually, it's probably harder for me because I'm trying not to wreck the ribbon and the paper so that I don't have to completely and utterly do it. But I need to get these sorted because it's just too costly otherwise. And that's the other thing. I know that this box does fit in a medium satchel, but it only just fits. But it's a bit cheeky of Australia Post to have downgraded that medium-sized satchel so much. Like, that is quite literally a large now. So anyhow, at least they're all gonna fix it for me, and we'll get the correct, well, I have got the correct satchels now, and hopefully they can get it sorted with Australia Post, what happens with those satchels. But that is the first one. Katie, I'm gonna go and cancel your shipping and get everything updated. I'll also send you an email in case you don't see the vlog, but that is that one. So this one will actually get dropped off at the post office again this afternoon. So that's that one done. I have got some soap oils over here. We're going to make a soap today. I have to make watermelon face cream today because I know that is in the order that came through last night, which will only leave me 2 on the shelf. So that is a priority to do. So I've got about an hour 15 until I have to open the shop. So I'm going to go and get myself all sorted, go and make myself a cup of coffee because I didn't make one this morning, and then get on with this day, and hopefully nothing else goes wrong. Oh, and the other thing is, if you did actually watch the holiday vlog that I put up there, and I was saying that my camera had been playing up, well, I did actually finally get it fixed. Not very impressed, but I did get it fixed. So basically there were a couple of things when we were on holiday, there was a couple of things I read about what could be the potential problem. One of them was that you needed to download the new firmware, which I explained in the video I couldn't do because I needed to be on the home Wi-Fi to be able to do it. So it all talked to each other. So I did do that as soon as we got home. That didn't work. The other thing they said could be a potential problem, unless the whole camera is stuffed up, is that there is a problem with the SD card and it needs to be reformatted. Now, there were 2 problems with that. One was that I already had a whole heap of footage on it that I needed, and therefore couldn't reformat it because I was going to lose that footage. And then the other problem is I had my laptop with me, but it doesn't have a card reader on it, so I had nowhere to actually plug this card into. And because it was a long weekend, while we were in Sydney, there was an Officeworks in Sydney, but because it was a long weekend, of course it was closed, so I couldn't go and buy a new SD card. But when I got home and I pulled all the footage off the SD card, had it all edited, I then reformatted the disc, popped it into the camera, and I haven't had a problem since. So if you do have one of these Pocket 3 cameras and you are finding that yours is constantly turning on and off, it could be an SD card problem. Usually when I take the SD card out of the computer, I do the whole eject and wait for it to actually say it's okay, but I must have pulled it out too quick on one of those days and corrupted it somehow. So yeah, it's all fixed now, so I'm not having the same issues and dramas, and that is all fixed. So yeah, having a much better time with the camera now as well. Thankfully I don't need a new one because I was really cross about that. Anyway, that's in a new bag. I'm going to go and get Katie's postage sorted, get myself sorted, and then get on with this day. All right, so I've got parcels sorted out, got all the shipping done, emailed Katie just to let her know why there's a confusion on all of her shipping orders. I've now printed out this order. This is for Claire, so let's go and pick this one. See, look how beautiful and sunny it is out there today. What a lovely change. All right, so for Claire, first up we have the Honey Vanilla Tallow Balm, and she's also ordered, oh, where is it? The Orange Patchouli. So we've got those. As I said, she does also have a watermelon face cream, so I've only got 2 left. We're going to make those today. She's also grabbed a gentle foaming face scrub. In fact, she's grabbed 2 of those. All right, and then down to the soapy drawer, she has grabbed 1 each of the tallow soaps. Where's the other one? There it is. There we go. So she's grabbed the milk and honey and also the coconut lemongrass. This was the first bar that I made, and then I decided to add some milk and honey into it. Absolutely love these bars of soap. So now that I have got Claire's order all picked, I am going to go get on with wrapping that one, hopefully get it into the right size satchel, and I'm going to go print up the recipe to make some more of this face cream. So today has been a much better day than it was yesterday. In fact, I have made more sales today in the shop than I made all of last week. So over 5 days last week, the total for 5 days last week, was less than what I've actually made today. So today has been a very good day. The sun certainly brought people out. Tell you what, it's such an emotional roller coaster having a retail shop because you just don't know what you're going to earn. I actually had 2 days I think, last week where I had absolutely no sales. So it can get a little bit worrying at times, but today has been a good day. Hopefully we'll get another couple of really good days to make up for last week. In between having customers come in, I've been pottering around. I've got a pot of the face cream. Sorry, you can't see me, but I've got a pot of the face cream. This has got all of its cool down ingredients and everything in it. So that's just sitting on the bench over there, and tomorrow we will pop that up into some tubes and restock the shelf. I did bring extra candle jars into the shop this morning, so I did pour out the rest of the candles, and I've been able to wick them or cut the wicks, pop the labels and everything else on them. So these 4 I will be taking home, probably not today because I don't have enough room in my basket, but probably take them home tomorrow and take photos to put up on the weekend. These are limited edition. I've only got 5 of each of them except for the lemon one, which I've got 6. I have got cotton candy. We then have lemon buttercream, which has got notes of lemon, sugar, chocolate, vanilla, buttercream, and cocoa. It smells really, really nice. This is the one that was cream eggs, and it smells really good. What else have we got here? We've got cinnamon buns. I don't often work with cinnamon smells because they do make me feel sick, which is one of the reasons I didn't want to put it in a soap as well, and the fact that it had 10% vanillin in there. So I think it was 10, or was actually no, I think the cream egg was 10% vanillin, so that's why that's definitely not gone on a soap. But I think this one was like 5 or 6%, something like that. So that was high as well. So we've made into candle. And then I've had this other scent that I've had sitting on my bench for ages. Absolutely love it. It's called Polynesian Ylang Ylang. It wasn't meant to have a lot of vanillin in it, but when I opened it up, it was very, very dark in color, and I just could never be inspired. To me, this should have been a yellow and white soap, but I just felt that it wasn't going to work with how dark the fragrance was. It's been sitting on my shelf for quite some time. So now it is into these limited edition candles, which will get photographed and popped onto the website. Now, in between all that, I also got a couple of orders come in, and they were both for William. So let's get them packed. So the first part of the order that came through was actually his subscription renewal for the monthly melt edit. Let's get these all the right way. These were what I made in the last vlog. These are all inspired by perfumes in here. The Oriental Myrrh and Musk. This one here is the same as the Elegance perfumes that I have, like the perfume oil in the solid lotion bars, and soon to be in the solid perfumes as well. So let's get those ones in here first. And he actually did send me an email as well to say to hold off sending it because he was going to put in another order, and then he has put that other order in, so we will combine it. I actually did get new bags to put these in, and they're a little bit better than the usual cellophane bags. They're a bit thicker, but it does make it a bit harder to package these up because they just don't have as much give, but that's all right. We've got them in there. Let's get our little sticker on, and I'm going to get this one wrapped up into some paper, and then we'll go and grab the rest of William's order and pack the rest of it up. Hopefully I've got enough. I should have enough on here. I was meant to bring in my other roll of paper today, and I forgot with everything else, but I have got my little sticky note on my phone to remind me to put it in the bag tonight, because there really isn't much left on here. All right, so we've got the first part of William's order all done up, so let's pop that in the box, and we're going to grab the second part of it here. Where is my list so I can cross it off and make sure I've got everything in here correctly? All right, let's start from the top. He has grabbed 2 of the cherry blossoms, so that means as of the recording of this, there are only 2 cherry blossom soaps actually available. It's the quickest a soap is sold outside of Christmas sort of time. So that one I am going to make another lot. I want to do all these soaps first because that will be easier to pop them in. He's grabbed a banana smoothie soap, so let's pop you in there. He's grabbed a It's Still Soap Salt Glow one, so that goes in. We have also got a calamine clay tanicles. That's a very popular soap there. He's also grabbed the Midnight Rose clay tanicle soap, so they're all made with natural colors and essential oils, as well as the lemon, honey and turmeric clay tanicles. So let's pop that in there. He has also grabbed some of the Bare Essential soaps. We've got clean cotton and cucumber aloe vera. Oh, at this stage I only plan on leaving these on the website until the end of June, and then reevaluating where things are from there. They really were put onto the website just while we were all doing things tough, so that people could grab themselves some nice bars of soap. But as we're actually coming back out of that tough time, they may disappear and go back in. But you guys have really loved these Bare Essentials, so I may even create a specific range. It just depends, because it's all about storage space for them. So we'll see what happens. He has also grabbed a tub of the new honey vanilla, or the re-released I should say, honey vanilla tallow balm. So let's pop that in there. And then we have some shampoo and conditioner bars. We have got the Ocean Deep. Hopefully I'm going to get this all in here, I hope. We have also got the Invigorating, so the shampoo and the conditioner bar. Oh, I'll rearrange all this in a minute. And we've also got, that's the conditioner, we've also got Citrus Burst as well. I think this is the bit that you guys actually, this is why you prefer for me to show you this angle, because you enjoy watching me struggle to get everything in. But you know what, I will get it in because I am stubborn like that. All right, so we've got you in there like so. In fact, let's do a little bit of shuffling around. Sometimes when I lay the soaps down like this, it gives me just a little bit more room. I don't think it's going to on this one though, for some reason. Let's go you. Let's get these in here. We'll go the shampoos. Oh, look at that. That sits nicely. You can just sit in there. You can sit there. Oh, look, I win. I'm going to get it all in here. We'll get our conditioner bars in there like so. Of course, we've got the little ray of sunshine to go in there as well. Now I am also going to add an extra little soap bar in here, even though I'm running out of space, because words just failed me then. William did say to send his 2 parcels together, which does actually save me a little bit on shipping there. So just as a thank you, I'm just popping that extra little soap in to make up the difference of that postage. What else have we got? We haven't got a sample in there. Let's find a little sampler out. I did put the sunshine in there. Oh, I'm not doing well at this now, am I? It's getting late in the afternoon. All right, we'll pop the sampler in there, our little thank you note as well. It has got, it's about 20 past 3, so I'm running a bit late with packing the order here. But it did actually come in well before 3 o'clock. I was just doing other things. So let's get that one in, tidy it all up. So I'm going to get this one wrapped up in the paper. I'm going to go and get the shipping label all done up for this one, plus the others over on the bench, and then pop them into my basket ready to go home with me. And as I said, it's about 20 past 3, so by the time I've done all my shipping and everything, it's probably going to be about 3:45, so not much time to do anything else. Oh, that's getting a bit heavy. Hopefully this isn't going to cost me a fortune. We'll see what happens. If it does, it will end up just going out in 2 parcels. Let's weigh it first. Oh no, it's all right. It just feels heavier than it is. I've actually was playing with Pepper the other day and she jumped up and she caught my arm and she's pulled the muscles in that arm. So things just feel a little bit heavier than they are, but I'll get this one all wrapped up, ready to go out. And then I will probably be heading home very soon, and then hopefully I'll be back in tomorrow and we'll have another really good day. We'll see how it goes. is late on Thursday afternoon. It's about 2:30. I did come into the shop early today, not as early as I'd done the day before, and it kind of gave me a real good reminder why I decided to stop opening the shop at 9 o'clock. I thought I'll get in here for 9 o'clock and then I'll go to the chemist just before opening. And yeah, I remembered exactly why I stopped opening the shop at 9. The traffic was absolutely horrendous, but I did manage to get in and had enough time to walk up to the chemist and go and get my script all filled, so that's all been done. But then I just decided I just needed a day of just being me and pottering around the shop and doing what I actually need to do without having to worry too much about other things. I have done bits of recording as well, as you've seen. I got the batch of, let's grab it here, the night cream. So that is all looking beautiful. That is now cooling down and I'll be able to pop that up tomorrow and restock the shelf. I potted up the watermelon face cream, so that is on the shelf. And I've also made the melts for the June monthly melt edit. And oh gosh, it smells so good in here. So they're all like, there's things like sour lollies, red frogs, musk sticks, Turkish delight, and what's the other one? Cola bottles. That's the other one. I had to see what the colours were then. So I've been really busy pottering around doing that sort of stuff. My mum also stopped in to the shop today to see how I was doing. She was up with a friend up the coast on her way back down, so she stopped in. So I had a bit of a chat with my mum. And I've had a couple of customers come in today. It's not been a particularly busy day. It's been really, really quiet out in the shop. It's street, I should say. It's another absolutely beautiful day out there. The sun is shining, but it is still a bit windy. So I think that's keeping people at bay. Currently there's a lot of cars driving up and down the street, but there's heaps and heaps of parking spots out there. So it's been a bit of a quieter day. I think the girls next door have been doing each other's hair. There's been a lot of giggling and carrying on and coming out of there. But anyhow, now that I am at this point of the day, I've got a couple of orders which have come in. I'm going to get them all packed, ready for me to take to the post office. And these are all subscription renewals. Because I've only got 2 to take to the post office today, over in my basket here, I have got, let's bring it over here and I can show you. In the basket, I have got those limited edition candles. I'm going to take those home to take photographs of. This here is some foaming hand wash for me to take home. I noticed that the one on our kitchen bench was almost empty and I liked having the foaming hand wash. I no longer sell this because, well, nobody was buying it and I can't just have it sitting on the shelf for, 1 or 2 sales every 4 or 5 months. So I actually did discontinue making the foaming hand wash, but I do use it at home, so I quite often just make a bit up just to take home. There's enough to fill the 2 bottles up that I've got at home there. And then the other thing I have in here, a little bit sad though, these are the soaps that Lee and I made while we were on holiday. The fragrance oil sadly had, it would look to be a lot of ET vanillin in it, because this was a really bright yellow. You'll see it in the video that I do. It was a bright yellow colour, but it has kind of gone to this browny mustard colour. So that one was mine. And then we've got this one here, which was Lee's. And this, again, they were nice, bright yellow, orange and red. The red's held really well and the yellow swirl has, but the orange has gone really brown, which is a little bit sad, but they're still going to be a great bar of soap. They are still a couple of weeks off from being cured, but I am going to take them home and take photos of these, and they'll actually come in a dual pack, so you'll get 1 each of our designs here. So I'm going to take those home with me so I can photograph them as well. So that's my little basket. If the melts, I don't think they are going to be set up enough, but if the melts do set up enough that I can take them out without breaking them, I might take some of those home. Otherwise, I'll take them home tomorrow. In fact, that's what I should do. Leave them until tomorrow so I don't break them and then get cross with myself for being impatient. I'll take them home and also photograph them. But for now, let's get these couple of subscription orders packed up. The first one here is for Julie, and this is the melt subscription that we've got. Speaking of the monthly melt edits, we'll get these ones in here. You can see these bags that I've got for this time around for these to go into. They're actually quite firm and they don't bend very easily, so it just makes it a little bit hard. When I had the softer little bags, they kind of sat in these boxes really, really nicely. But these bags are a little bit tougher, but they were an excellent price, especially for the quality of the bags there. And I have a few hundred of them to use. I'm just going to have to struggle for the next however many months of getting those in. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. These ones have got a nice little themed sticker to go on them. Each month is different. Let's pop you in there. We're going to grab our paper. I did also remember to bring in the other roll of black paper this morning. I also bought in a couple of orders. I needed to restock on a few things. I needed things like mango butter, some new vitamin E, because I was really, really low on that. I have a new product that I am working on, which I hope to have out in June as well. In fact, it has to come out in June because it is also going to be the recipe that I do over on DIY Body Care, and that is for some roll-on deodorant. It actually wasn't meant to come out until a little bit later on in the year once I'd done a full amount of testing. However, while we were on holiday, I took this deodorant with me, and I can tell you, when you can walk 60 plus kilometers, do a 5 to 6 kilometer bike ride, and all the other things that we did on this holiday, and not get body odor, I think I'm on a winner with this deodorant. It's going to be a roll-on deodorant recipe, and it is 100% natural. When it comes out into the Soy and Shea range, it will be a 100% natural roll-on deodorant, and it will come with essential oils in it. I just have to finalize the last. I've got 2 essential oil blends. I just have to think of another one to go in it. So I did actually receive all of the bottles for those today. Well, I got them last night. My microphone's pointing down, so I don't know how much of that you've heard. I'm sorry. There was also a few other little bits and pieces in there that I needed to replace, like some chamomile extract. I've also ordered a new style of perfume bottle as well. Not only do I want to bring out the solid perfumes, I already have roll-on oil perfumes on the website, and in store I have alcohol spray perfumes. The alcohol spray ones can only be in the shop because of the alcohol. They can't be shipped, but I do have people who want the spray perfume. But problem is, when you put a oil-based perfume into a spray bottle, it doesn't spray. I'd like to say it squirts, but I don't think it even squirts out the bottle. It just gives this stream of oil out of the sprayer, so it doesn't atomize or spray a fine mist like a regular perfume. And if I'm going to do a perfume spray that I can ship, I've been working on the type of formula to make sure we get a sprayable perfume that's not water-based. I don't want a water-based body spray. I want a proper eau de parfum with the high amount of fragrance in it. So I've been working on that, and I think I have finally come up. Where's my scissors gone? My scissors have disappeared. Found them. I think I have actually got a formula now that will work as a spray perfume, which I can ship. So I did actually order in some new perfume bottles to have a little bit of a play with, and hopefully in June. They won't come out at the beginning of the June with the solid perfumes, but I am hoping to be able to have the range of perfume. Oh, that doesn't go in there. I'm hoping to have the range of solid perfumes available either towards the end of the month or maybe in July. So I like to have a new product each month released. I've got Julie's all wrapped up. I'm going to pop it into the extra small satchel. I do, however, find with these extra small satchels, they're really good because it's like the cheapest postage you can get. But I went to put some stuff in one day, and because they're like a paper satchel, they're a little bit firmer, and I put one of these boxes in here the other day, which I've been doing for a little while now, and all the seam actually ripped. So now I'm actually concerned that the seams on these might rip while in transit. So I have now taken to actually putting tape over the edge here. So I'm going to do that to this bag to make sure that it doesn't come off. I also noticed that the shipping label doesn't stick as well to these bags as what they do to, you know, the other satchels. So I also put a bit of tape over the shipping label to make sure that it doesn't come off. All right, so that is Julie's subscription all done up. So yeah, it has just been a day of kind of pottering around and just keeping myself busy, thinking about all the things of where I want to go. I'm still waiting for the packaging for the new solid perfumes to come in. I don't know if they'll come in time. Let's have a look. They probably won't. They're actually coming from the other side of Australia, which does take that little bit longer. So let's have a look at where it's at. Well, it reckons it got to Sydney today. Oh no, it says delivery expected Monday to Tuesday. So the vlog will be over by then. One of my sort of things with the solid perfumes, I've wanted to put these into the range for so long, and I've often said over the years I was going to put them in, but then I always start procrastinating about the packaging. And that's because first time I ever got a solid perfume, it was from a friend who went to Greece on holiday, and she bought it back. I've actually seen them for sale on eBay. They're like a little black ceramic jar, and in the bottom was a solid perfume, and then the top pulls off and there's a liquid perfume in the top, but the solid perfume was in the bottom. And all the other solid perfumes I've seen over the years always comes in a tin, but I'm a very lucky person that I can actually grow my fingernails. So when it comes to using things that are in tins and pots, one of the hardest things is you get it all stuck underneath your fingernails. And then, you know, you think you've washed your hands, you go and eat your lunch, and you're eating your perfume or something. So I kind of want to move away from putting it into tins, but for all of the giveaways that I did actually put them in a lip balm tube. And my sort of thing is someone's going to pick this up and think it's lip balm and pop it over their lips. So I did actually put it out to vote as to what people wanted. Did they want it in a tin or a tube? And the majority of votes from both Instagram and Facebook came as they wanted it in a tube. So I've done some searching, and I have actually now found some tubes that are actually twice the size of a lip balm tube. So hopefully that will be enough of a distinction that people won't pick their perfume up thinking that it's lip balm. Sorry, I just had some customers come in. I was scrambling to get the music put on because otherwise it just sounds really lifeless in here without any music going. So yeah, we've got a few plans going. I've also been in contact with my printing agency for a new product coming out. I've just got to get back to them with a few details so they can give me a quote. So it's been a very busy, productive day today, but we're going to pack this next order. So it is another subscription order, but this one has come off the DIY body care, and this one is for Samantha, and this month's DIY body care is the oleo gel body oil. So that's going to go in here. Now I have been told that these caps have cracked, and I did notice that they cracked. Mine cracked on me while we were traveling as well. So I am actually going to make some more of these body gels, maybe just for, or body oil, just for winter. And I've actually bought in some different caps, which will hopefully not crack when in transit. So we're going to get that one in there, and then I have to also send Samantha the actual recipe via the website. I also then need to start working on putting the written context together for the deodorant recipe that is coming out next month on the DIY body care site. So that is that one. I just want to make sure that this is the correct weight because I've put some extra paper in here to try and protect that cap a bit more. I think we might be pushing it to get it under its 250 limit. Let me double check with the bag as well. Oh, I've got like 5 grams or something to spare. The idea behind these DIY body care ones, I do try to get them in as a extra small parcel, just so that I can do it for the price that I do. The subscription over on that website does include postage of the actual product and the formula, so I do try and keep my postage into this extra small, which means keeping them under 250 grams. So it's not a lot. So this one, I think by the time I've got the tape on, I'm only going to have like 5 grams to keep me under that 250 limit. Otherwise, it goes into the next category. Sorry, that's very loud probably. And the other reason I'm really trying on this one to keep the package under 250 grams and keep that postage down is because the body oil is the most expensive of the products that I have currently sent out this year as part of this new subscription. It is cost-wise double everything else I've ever sent out, so I am trying my hardest to keep this one on that lower end of the postage, just so that it doesn't end up costing me too much this month. But I really wanted to share this particular formula with everyone. Really looking forward to sharing the deodorant one with everyone, because I have been super impressed. I do have a solid stick deodorant, which I do like, and I'm actually in the processes of changing the packaging on that one, because I just don't love the current packaging. So I do the stick one, and I do like that one. However, I just feel the chemical makeup on my body does actually prefer this new roll-on that I've done. But other people have said that they absolutely love the solid one, no problems. I find in the middle of summer I can't use my solid stick deodorant, but with everything that I did on this holiday, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to do really well with this new roll-on. So it just gives people options. The solid stick one, I will probably then stick to putting things like fragrance into them, so they won't be 100% natural. And then the roll-ons will be 100% natural. But I can tell you, for someone who really wasn't feeling it this morning and just wanted to potter around the shop, I have just rubbed it on a fair bit there. I'm going to go and get the postage all sorted on these, because it is now 3 o'clock. Pop them into my basket to take on home. I actually don't have a lot more. I've got 2 more things on my list to do for this week. But I actually don't have enough time today to do them. So I might just go and work out what I need to make, print up the recipes, and then I'm right to do them tomorrow. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna go and do now. All right, it is Friday. I've got about 5 minutes until I open the shop up. Had a really good run in today, which was nice. I came in at my usual time. I did spend time this morning editing the vlog. Because I came in early on Wednesday, I didn't get to edit any of Tuesdays. And then because I also came in slightly earlier yesterday, I only got like half of Tuesday's footage done. But this morning I've got myself all through Tuesday, almost up to the end of Wednesday. And then tomorrow morning I'll be able to sit and do Thursday today and hopefully get the vlog out quickly to you guys. There are going to be a few extra videos coming out over the next couple of months or couple of weeks as well. I know I have been so slack for so long with getting videos out. Sometimes I've literally recorded and edited them and released them within sort of 48 hours. So I've been pretty bad at that. A lot of that has had to do with the perimenopause, not being able to get the sort of oomph to get going and doing things. But now that I'm feeling so much more on top of the world with the help of my GP, I have got myself so far ahead. I have actually got videos scheduled right up until, I'm pretty sure it's right up until July. So there's so many videos. And then I've got a builder soap video to come out that I'm going to sort of release a midweek video. I've got the video of Lee and I making our soap, so I'm going to bring that out as a midweek when that one is ready as well. So there's lots of videos coming out, and I'm going to hopefully still try and keep myself ahead. I'm trying not to get into that thing of, well, I've got so many videos, I don't need to make any, and then all of a sudden I'll go, I don't have any. So yeah, I'm trying to keep myself ahead. You're going to get some bonuses as well. Now today my task is, I actually do have a few emails that came in overnight that I need to go and get in contact with. Somebody is asking me about white label, so I need to respond to that. The message came in about 7 o'clock at night, but once I do actually get home, that is it. I will generally respond to messages up to about 5, maybe 6 o'clock, depending upon how urgent those messages are, but I do generally have time out from doing stuff. So if I don't respond to your message straight away, it could be because I'm outside of business hours and just taking a little bit of time for myself. So I will get back to those as soon as I can in the morning. So we'll get on with doing that. I then also need to make these face masks. I've been putting them off, need to go and make them, and I need to make these lip balms today as well. And I also have that night cream to pot up, and I've got a soap over here to actually tidy up. I never actually showed the making of it on the camera because I was going to do a reel, and then when I looked at the reel I thought that is just so boring, because this is my scrubby soap. It is just a black soap, activated charcoal, and it's got lots of scrubby bits in there, including olive stone, poppy seeds, hummus, there's milk powder and all sorts. So I had all the real footage, which isn't going to get shown either because it's just like really boring. But I do have that soap to actually tidy up today as well. So plenty of things for me to do, but the first thing we're going to go and do is pick an order for Maria. This one came in last night, so let's go and grab the items, and then I can get it all picked, get the door open and get on with the day. All right, so first thing we've got, I actually thought there was only one tub of this on the shelf, but there's actually 2. She has grabbed one of our night creams, so we're going to get more of that potted up and fill this shelf up today. The other item she has grabbed is one of our facial gel serums, so let's grab that one. Down to the bottom, down here, we have got one of the fresh magnesium and 3 of the calm. So let's pop those. That means I've only got 1 on the shelf. Let's see what's, oh look, no, we've got a couple left in the drawer. So let's, those ones out, and we'll just re-top that up, and I will have to make more magnesium lotion probably next week because I just don't have time to make it today when I have to make lip balms and face masks. We'll just top the fresh up. I've also got 3 of those left in the drawer. Let's pop that one away. So now I've got Maria's order all picked. I'm going to go and get my door open. We'll get this one packed in a box, wrapped up. Oh, and that's the other thing I have to do today as well. I have the monthly melt edits, which I will be able to unmold. I did decide to be patient so that I didn't break any of them, but we'll get these unmolded. I already have all the labels done up, so I am well ahead for next month. It's just been one of those days where I've had a lot of browsers and chatters through the store and not many sales, unfortunately. And it has actually slowed me down in a lot of the stuff that I have been doing. So I haven't even started to make lip balms and it's already 2:30. I have got the face masks all done up. When I actually put my face masks in the pouch this time, I hadn't knocked the bottom of the pouch out enough, so they're not actually standing up properly, and every time I touch them they just get this domino effect of falling down. So I think what I actually will need to do is take a pouch home with me on the weekend and then go into the shops and see if I can find some trays to sit them in so that people don't domino them off the bench as well. Just every time I touch them they fell down, but I've now got them all standing up and in place, so hopefully they'll last at least until I can sort the display shelving out a little bit. So that's all been done. I did pot up the night cream. I didn't show doing it because I've just had so many people coming into the shop and out, and I just forgot to set go on the camera. I haven't yet tidied up my soap and I haven't yet unmolded the melts yet. It's just been one of those days. And I also, one of the messages I got come through last night was about doing white label. Now, white label is when you purchase from somebody and it doesn't have a label on it. So with my soaps, you just get the bar of soap and then it's up to whoever gets it to either put a belly band on or shrink wrap it and put stickers or display it in the manner that makes it legally, put the legal requirements there to actually sell it. When this person actually responded back to me, they're actually after private label, not white label. So they want me to label the products. I can do that. I can actually do that, but it does cost extra. And because I hadn't really had people, I've only had the odd person ask me to do that and I just send it on as an extra charge. I then actually did sit there this morning and I corrected, sorry, I'm just getting some paper while I chat. I corrected the website and actually put it down so that instead of having to do everything separately as a sort of after bill, there is now the ability to do it online. So for example, if you wanted to buy wholesale, buy the soaps, you now have the choice of you can label it or I can label it, and there's two different ways in which it can be labelled, either with the belly band around the soap and that's it, or it can have a belly band and the biodegradable shrink wrap. So I spent some time this morning fixing that up so that it saves time in the long run because you can just add it on to the order and you don't have to wait for the backwards and forwards with emails and stuff. So I've got all that corrected. So that did take a little bit of time as well, but it was important to do. While I was doing that, I also had a renewal subscription come through off the DIY body care for Nicole. And as with the other subscriptions, it is for the body oils. So let's pop that in amongst the paper there. I have already sent the recipe through, so we're just going to get the little card written out to go inside. And I do keep this one. This one's very different to the Soy and Shea in that it's not going to get wrapped up. I haven't even printed up a sticker. Oh dear, let's get that done. Yay, I just had a customer come in and buy some shampoo and conditioner, and actually a Cleveland customer who is up here and has just popped in, so that was really nice. It's just been one of those things. I had the only other sale I've made today. I wasn't feeling particularly hungry, so I didn't realise it was about 1 o'clock, and I thought I better eat something, otherwise I'm going to be hungry by 3. I'll eat and then I won't want dinner when I get home. So I went and grabbed myself a little rice cracker with a bit of butter and Vegemite on it. And I've come out here and I've taken one bite and someone's walked through the door. It's like, oh, it's just typical. Every time you go to eat, people come in, and this is the first time, apart from this morning, I've turned the music off and someone comes in the shop. It's just always the way. But anyhow, I've popped the label on here for Nicole's order, so we'll get this one in here. So I'll get this one popped into its into its little satchel, and I've still got 20 minutes until the cut-off time of getting orders in. So I might just leave it over on the bench for now, and then I'm going to, what am I going to do next? I'll unmold the melts next, I think, and then I might do the soap afterwards, get that all tidied up and put away. And then tomorrow when I come in, that will probably be when I make the lip balms, because they desperately need to be done. I don't generally like making things on a Saturday, but if I don't make them tomorrow, I could potentially sell out of the lip balms that are in the containers. And then there'll be even bigger delays on getting orders out. And I really, 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 really hate having delays on orders. I know so many people, oh, you pack it so fast, you don't have to worry and all this sort of stuff. But I've always been this sort of person that I hate things being there. It's like when you get a bill, you get your telephone bill and it's not due for 3 weeks. Guess what? I pay it the day I usually get it, because I hate outstanding bills sitting there. And it's the same as when I've got orders. If I've got the stuff ready to go, your order is going to go out that day, providing it's in by 3 o'clock. Otherwise it goes out the next day, which way's up, it doesn't matter on that one. Which is one of the reasons why with my wholesale soap, I debated about it so much, about whether to make people wait the 3 to 4 weeks for it to cure, or whether to actually make sure I've always got stock with live inventory on the website, with the possibility of it selling, like back ordering sort of stuff, which I went with that option to make sure that I always had stock sitting out the back. You can then see what live inventory there is. So if you've got a market coming up in 2 weeks' time and you desperately need some wholesale soap, you can see what I've actually got in stock, order it, and you know you're going to get it in time for that event. So that was my sort of thinking behind that. Anyhow, don't know where that all came from, but I'm going to go and get these melts unmolded, wrapped up. Where did I put the labels? I did print them all up yesterday. I've got to go and find where I put the labels. All right, let's do it. Got them. I got them there. Good morning, happy Saturday. It is a lovely day outside. It does look a little bit overcast, but the sun is really shining through. It's actually quite warm considering how windy it is. Me, I'm always cold, but I will admit that it is quite warm out there. So hopefully we will have a good day. Now there it is, looking for all my ingredients here. I tidied up the soap. I've got them on the cure rack here. I put away those 2 broken melts from yesterday. So that's all been done. And now I'm getting all the ingredients out to make my lip balms because they desperately need doing. I don't usually like to make things on a Saturday and then leave them out on the bench, but I am going to have to do that today because I have simply, that's not the right one. If I don't and I get orders over the weekend, I could potentially, as I said yesterday, not have product to send out, and it's just going to lead to a delay in sending orders out, and I don't like doing that. So gonna get on with making these lip balms, and then I need to sit down once we've got all that done. I need to start looking at some essential oil blends to go into the deodorants, which I'm going to make next week. I think I've got everything there. Maybe not. So I'm going to have a look at doing that. And then what else? I also need to start finalizing my shower steamers that I'm going to do. I have made a little bit of a stuff up. I don't know if I said this yesterday or not. I think I was telling hubby, and that's why I'm thinking I've said it. I was initially going to bring out 6 scents each of fragrance and essential oil. And I actually made 7 as part of my testing. And when I sent off for the quote, I said I had 14 designs. Oh, no, I don't. I only had 12. So now I have to think of another 2 to go in each of the, or another 1 of each to go into each of the categories there. But that's okay because I know that people love them. So that should all be fine. I don't think I need any of these. Yes, I need that one. And what's this final one? All right. So I've got all my flavors. I've got all my ingredients. I'm going to go and start making these lip balms. It is busy out in the street, so I am going to probably just put music to the next little bit because I have already had a couple of people come in. I had the sweetest girl come in this morning. Apparently she bought some of my lip balms a few weeks ago when they were up here, and she really wanted to come in and grab some more. So I definitely need to go and make these lip balms. actually past my home time, but I had quite a number of people coming in just after 1:30 today, which meant that I couldn't do my cash up and all the usual things I do in that last half hour and had to wait until I got my door shut. But it has been a pretty productive day. I got all the lip balms done. So I did all of the beeswax ones, and then I also had a couple of the vegan friendly ones to do. So you didn't see me do those. They go into the pink trays. So they're all sitting there on the bench, and then when I come in on Tuesday, I'll be able to take them out the flood trays, pop the labels on, cap them into the things. So all the labels are sitting there too. So that's good. As I said, I don't usually like leaving them sitting on the bench, but I really needed to. I should have got my butt into gear earlier this week. What else have I done? I have gone through all my stuff and had a look at what I need to make next week. And I've actually got a lot more than what I actually anticipated having to do. I've run out of a couple of the car scents. I need to restock those. We've got the honey tallow balm, which I already said I needed to make. I also need to make the Elegant Solid Lotion because that's the most popular. We've also got the Fig and Olive hand cream that's been popular in the shop this week. I've only got three bars left, or 3 tubes left. Also need to make a batch of the hyaluronic face gel. There is 5 of them on the shelf, but it generally sells really quick. And when they do come through in orders, people are generally grabbing 2, 3, 4 of them. So I need to make sure I've got plenty of those made up. And the Calm Magnesium Lotion, that always sells super fast as well. And we've only got 4 of them on the shelf, so I need to make that next week. As well as that, hopefully I'll have the tubes in for the solid perfume. I'll get on to making those. And I will also be making deodorants up next week as well. There is so much to do. I have to make the video for that. So we'll have the DIY body care recipe all done up, and I'll also have some on the, well, they will become a permanent within the Soy and Shea range. I have been sitting at the computer all afternoon. These need to go home and photograph for DIY body care. I have been sitting at the computer this afternoon. I have been working out essential oil blends to use in the deodorants, and I think I'm there. I'm pretty happy with what I have picked so far. There'll be Citrus Burst because everybody loves that scent in the shampoo and other bits and pieces that it's in. I'm also going to do my Calm blend because that's in a few of the creams and things, also in the calamine soap bar, and it's a very popular essential oil blend. And I think for me, that Calm, like if you've shaved under your arms, it calms the skin back down. I'm going to have a spiced lavender, so it's going to have lavender and star anise and a couple of other bits in. I've got another one called Active, which is quite a fresh herby scent with rosemary, basil, pink grapefruit in it. So that's going to be very unisex. I think the spiced lavender will be fairly unisex too. Citrus Burst will be too. And then I do want to create another one. I'm just having a little bit of a think and we'll see what happens. And I also need to have a look at my shower steamers over the weekend and finalise the scents because, like I said, I messed up and I've asked for more boxes than I was meant to ask for. And I would much rather come up with a couple more scents to add into it, because if I take them out, it will actually increase the prices that I'm going to have to pay because it's done on volume. So I have got all that. I'm going to take that home with me. I did get an order come through at about 1:30. It was about 1:25. And I thought, you know what, I'm just sitting here at the computer. If I'm quick, I can actually get this one all packed up and done. It had a total of 10 of the Bare Essential soaps and one other thing. So I pulled it out, read the message that had been left, and it said, can you please wrap all soaps individually? They're for different people. It's like, that's not what the Bare Essential soaps are actually about. So I had to actually start going backwards and forwards with the person that's ordered them to say, look, really sorry, but the Bare Essentials are actually, I offer them at the price they do because I'm not spending time wrapping them. I'm not putting the cost of wrapping onto them as well. And because they've actually bought 10, they get a 10% discount because I use even less wrapping once you buy those sort of numbers, because if you buy 3 or more of the same scent, I wrap them all up in a brown paper log. So instead of using, say if you ordered 3, instead of using 3 individual bags, it's just 1 piece of brown paper. So I take that sort of cost off and pass it on to everyone. So I did go right back because, you know, at the end of the day, a sale is a sale and we desperately need those sales right now. And I said, on this one, I will pop them into a white paper bag. No, she wants them wrapped in brown paper. No, I cannot individually wrap 10 bars of soap in brown paper. That goes against the whole Bare Essentials idea. The idea is I am not spending time and money on wrapping soaps. So I have said that they'll go into a white paper bag. That's it. Because at the end of the day, if I ended up with 10 orders and 1 soap in each order, it's still going to cost me the same, except for the fact they wouldn't get the 10% discount. So I'd be getting that wrapping money in there. It's just, running a business is so hard. You hate saying no to people, but if you don't learn to say no to people when you are in business because you want to be the nice person, because you don't want to lose customers and all that sort of stuff, all that ultimately happens is that you actually end up destroying your business because you end up spending money and never recouping. And if you try and put that money back into the product somehow, people then don't buy because you've pushed the price up. So it's really, really, really tough, a really tough balancing game that you have to do between keeping customers happy and making sure that your business survives. But she did eventually write back because she said, can you just wrap 2 in the brown paper? It's like, no, I can fit 2 in a paper bag. Like, I am not moving off the whole paper bag thing. Like, I don't mind putting 2 in there because rather than using 10 bags, I only have to use 5. So she has now agreed to have two soaps per white paper bag. And it is all on the website as well. So anyhow, we're not here to whinge about that because at the end of the day, I'm grateful for every sale that does come through. But because of the going backwards and forwards, by the time I got her final email, it was 10 to 2 and I was not going to stay back to pack the order. I'm sorry. But she said that she's fine to wait until next week. Anyhow, speaking of that, I am going to head off home. I hope you've enjoyed coming along with me for this month's vlog. You've had 2 vlogs this month. If you've missed the other one, it was our holiday of when we went down to Sydney out to like Western New South Wales and up through into Queensland. So you can always go back and watch that one if you missed it. There's things like giraffes in there. Anyhow, I hope you have enjoyed coming along with me. If you did, why not leave a thumbs up and any comments down below. And until the next video comes out, I hope you have a good one and I will see you then. Bye.